Buongiorno, my name is Kyle or Keelmeister, and today we are getting started on one of my least favorite things in the game, villagers. Specifically, villager breeding. I had to watch so many tutorials and read so many articles to get an idea of how these villagers work, and I still don't understand everything. Just weird things like gossip, how to discount trades, you need 2 blocks above beds, all this weird stuff. Moral of the story, I'm out of my comfort zone here, but it's a good day to get started on this and a few other side projects. So, let's jump into it. First task to get done is to complete my basic animal pen, so I need to collect some pigs. I'm spoiling these little piggies by giving them the deluxe pen, which comes with a built-in water feature. I noticed this die sheep outside of its pen. I have no clue how it escaped, but there's only one punishment for a treasonous sheep like this. As the sun was coming out, I noticed some mobs underneath this dark patch, and saw a zombie villager. I thought this would be a great opportunity to catch one, since I really didn't want to travel thousands of blocks looking for a village, only to transport 2 of them all the way back home. And of course this happened. Well, on a different note, I noticed a wolf walking around this part of the mountain, and I went looking for him so I could tame him and have a companion in this lonely world. After looking for a while, I abandoned the search and went down into the mines. I started collecting lots of obsidian. I wanted to transport the villagers into the nether and bring them back. Since every 1 block in the nether equates to 8 blocks in the overworld, it would save me a lot of time of transporting. I went to the nether, moved my portal up near to the bedrock ceiling to make transporting a little bit easier. I made sure to break the old one, and fingers crossed my new one links up. And it was a success. I traveled over to the Wither farm, laddered up, and started making a tunnel to my home portal.
Trying to see through your flaws, 'cause I know that you got so much more to give. You made a real mess, but I miss you though, 'cause I can go to sleep when I'm alone again. Say you wanna.
Afterwards, I was completely out of coal and almost out of iron, so I went mining for some of these basic ores. And to my surprise, I found a zombie spawner. This was going to be perfect, because I can just make a zombie spawner and sort out the zombie villagers as I see them come in. I'd be killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because I would be getting an XP farm on one hand, and be getting the villagers that I needed.
How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in.
I brewed my potion and made some golden apples to cure the zombie villagers. The zombie farm came along nicely. I even added in some rails to pull zombies out 1 by 1 for zombie villagers. When I went to the surface, I actually found a zombie villager out during nighttime, so I trapped him next to the water elevator for the zombie spawner and tried to cure him. It took all night for the villager to be cured, but I successfully had my first villager. Now I just need to bring him back home. I began working on the actual villager breeder, which I wanted close to my home, but I wanted it out of sight so it wasn't an eyesore. So I put it underwater in the lake behind my house. I wanted to keep the design simple, so I stuck with basic stone bricks, stone, and glass. When night rolled around, I went hunting for my second zombie villager. If I could find one near the house, I wouldn't have to go out looking for a village. And you may ask, what about the zombie spawner you built? Why not just use that to get zombie villagers? Well, I saw conflicting information that some people said zombie villagers can spawn from spawners, and others said it was removed from the game. Given I AFK'd for a while and didn't see a single one, I sadly think I wasted my time by building that thing. Oh well, the more you know, and I still found a zombie villager out of it, so kind of worth. Unfortunately, I did not find a zombie villager, but I did find a bunch of horses, which is perfect, because I received a comment on my first video saying that I should get a horse. So I befriended this horse and brought him back to his new section of the pens. Oh, and I got him a friend. Once that was done, I got back to working on the villager breeder. It's a pretty simple design, 2 villagers in a farm area for food, then a bed section where at night they can run to, and if there's a baby villager, it falls through some trapdoors and gets transported underneath the beds to pop out on the other side and be collected in this little area, where I can press a button and a minecart will grab one of them. The minecart tunnel leads all the way back to the mainland, so it's convenient for moving them to where I want. Since I had some free time, I got another horse. That night I went out looking for a zombie villager, but I found another horse instead, so I brought him back too. One of the skeletons outside the farm area shot the horse, so I went back and killed both of them as punishment. And then I went to go kill the creeper, and well, he exploded on me. But in my defense, my sword normally kills them in 3 hits, so I was a little surprised it took 4 hits to kill this one. After that incident, I went back out looking for one more zombie villager to complete my villager farm, and I found absolutely nothing. So once again, I went to befriend a horse. And another horse. At this point, I was quite happy with how many horses I had. Since I needed to wait for nighttime again, I thought now would be a good time to fortune all the ores that I got from the earlier mining session. And boy did I need the resources, because I was running out of almost everything besides copper, which I still wanted to collect because I think it looks cool when it oxidizes and turns teal, and eventually I'll use it in a future build.
Of your good side, I start wondering how I could make it last a little longer. Say you wanna fix a problem.
That night I finally found another zombie villager. I lured him back to the zombie breeder and boxed him in. For some reason, mobs aren't floating. I'm not sure if that's a bug or intentional, but I had to make a bridge out to the breeder so the zombie could follow me out without drowning, which isn't bad, just annoying. When I came back to check on him, he despawned. I have no clue how that happened, but it's super sad, because I went looking for him for several nights in a row, only for him to despawn right outside of where I needed him. Anyway, I went back to mining on the ores from earlier.
How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in.
Overall, pretty good haul. This should hold me over for at least a little bit. Yeah, I lied earlier about having enough horses. I went and got another one and brought him back. I went back to the same field with all the horses and found another zombie villager, but I panicked and didn't know how to stop him from burning, so yeah, he died. So I got another horse. After several more nights, I finally got another zombie villager and cured him. I introduced him to his new companion, and they seemed to get along pretty well. After many hours of trying to figure out why my breeder wasn't working, I found out that not only did there need to be a 2-block gap between the beds and the ceiling, I also need an extra block higher ceiling for one of the blocks in between the bed and the villagers. It was annoying to troubleshoot because I had no clue where I went wrong, but I'm very happy it's fixed now. I went back into the farming area and gave them some food to start the process, and before long, the hearts started to appear. And there you go, our first baby villager. I was so happy when this happened because it took forever to fix this thing. That night, I came back to make sure the baby villager fell down properly, which he did, and eventually he'll grow up and move into the overflow area. And eventually, I had a good surplus of villagers. Well, that will do it for the episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.